Welcome, my foodie friends of the interweb. So this video is going to be kind of bizarre for a foodie channel. But I think I can make this work if you give me a chance. All right. So today I'm about 6 hours away from completing a 72-hour water fast. That is correct. Water only fast. Now, why would I do such things to myself? Somebody who loves to eat the way I do, and I'm doing a water fast for 3 days? How crazy is that? Well, here's the thing. What I'm about to say is not to be misconstrued in any way, shape, or form as medical advice. I'm not a doctor, although I've played a doctor once or twice. Anyway, I digress. So what I'm about to say is not to be misconstrued as medical advice. I'm not giving medical advice. I am not a physician. Before you do any kind of fasting, you really absolutely should talk to your family practitioner, your primary care physician. You absolutely should. I've been doing this for a long time. And what I mean by that is I dabbled in fasting when I was probably still a teenager, long before the internet. And throughout the years, I would fast. And some would be longer fast than other fasts, but I don't even remember, to be honest with you, how I originally got turned on to fasting. But I will tell you that there are a tremendous amount of fasting experts, doctors, MDs, some not even MDs. Dr. Berg rings a bell. He's I think he's a chiropractor, but he's dedicated a big chunk of his life into alternative medicines and supplements and all kinds of stuff. But there's several of them. I may put some links down below if you're interested. Fasting for me has nothing to do with weight loss. Absolutely zero to do with weight loss. Fasting to me, listen, there's a ton of benefits, but the biggest thing for me is I love the way it makes me feel. Now, these days in my old age, I don't have authorization from my doctors to go really long. A 3-day fast is still considered a prolonged fast, especially if you're talking water. Now, by the way, dude, please don't get this confused with intermediate fasting. That's a totally different animal, which I do support. I'm talking about start to finish, nothing but H2O. That's right. I drink about 2 liters plus, I think, of water every day for 3 days. So anyway, here's the thing. For me, it makes me feel better. It really, if you're diabetic, type 2, I can't really speak to type 1. I've never been a type 1 diabetic, but I've been a type 2 diabetic. It will help you tremendously with your insulin resistance. Should I say insulin sensitivity. One of the problems if you're a type 2 diabetic is, whatever it is you eat, your cells aren't taking in insulin. They block the insulin. They're resistant to the insulin. The insulin's what you need to help the nutrients get into the cells. So what you have is cells that are wanting some nutrients. They're wanting, and so they send messages to the brain, and the brain says, well, eat some carbs. It's a really vicious cycle. It's a horrible situation. Diabetes is a horrible situation. But if you do a prolonged fast, at least my experience has been that you will become much more sensitive to insulin. So after this, just to give you an example, after this 72-hour fast for me is over, I will be able to eat a higher carb load, or let's say eat an apple. Okay, where maybe normally it would spike my sugar, my glucose levels. After the 72-hour fast, for me, it won't. I'll be able to go out if I want to eat a cheeseburger and French fries and maybe even a chocolate shake, and it will not spike my sugars. Now, listen, don't just go from this video and start doing fasting. There's a lot to learn about it. There's a lot to learn about re-eating. Once you start to eat again after a prolonged fast, you have to be very careful about it. You have to kind of ease yourself in, or you could damage yourself, something fierce. So, okay, yeah, I don't know if you guys are interested in hearing about my experiences with fasting and whatnot. If you are, let me know in the comment section. But it is, for me, okay, let me just touch on intermediate fasting for a second. It's a whole another video, intermediate fasting. There's different ways to go about that. Intermediate fasting is basically giving yourself a window to be able to eat. And let's just say you give yourself 16-hour fast, which by the way includes sleeping, so not so bad. I know people who do intermediate fasting who eat once a day. Once a day. And it does wonders for them, and they love it. For me, I mean, I've done that, and sometimes it's just the easiest thing for me to do. But the truth is, for me, there is nothing like a prolonged water fast. There's a reason why every major religious text, Bible, Quran, the Torah, all of them have fasting in it. There's a reason for that. There's so many things that, and I will do another video on this, but there are so many things that happen in a positive way to your body if you do a fast. One of the things, this might sound kind of gross to some people, but your body has a lot of cellular material in it that is no longer functioning the way it should. So it's kind of like, wore the hell out or just junk stuff. And if you fast, deny yourself food, your body will eat that. It will eat the garbage. It will. I promise you that. And in return, you will feel better. It's just true. Now, I shouldn't say it's just true. For me, it's been true. After I finish a fast, I'll tell you what, I feel like $1 million. Now, you guys watch my channel, it's not long before I start eating garbage again. I try to do a 3-day fast at least once a month. For me, that's me. I probably would do it more. I would love to do a really long fast, like a 7-day fast. The longest I've ever fasted for was 30 days. But I was a much younger man in much better shape. Today I would never even attempt that. And I wanted to do even a 5-day fast, and my cardiologist was like, no. And by the way, and I'll do another video on this, but there are tricks and things that you can do. One of the things you have to be careful of, in my opinion, is making sure you have electrolytes. Now, for me, it can be as simple as just taking some pink Himalayan sea salt, putting a couple of those little bastards under my tongue, letting them dissolve, and that straightens me right out. This is the first fast that I actually tried Smart Water, which is a water with electrolytes in it, but it doesn't have, like, Gatorade's very sweet. Now, the Gatorade does have a 0 sugar now, but for the most part, I want to stick to water because I know for a fact that water's not going to break my fast. And I'll get more into that too. If you're interested, I don't know, maybe you're not. But the Smart Water for me was kind of interesting, and I didn't have some of the, and I don't want to get into the issues, but some of the issues I've had in the past with prolonged fasting, I did not have this time around, and I'm very curious as to whether or not it has to do with the drinking of the Smart Water. Not every drop of water I drink was Smart Water, electrolyte infused water. There's tons of different brands out there. I'm not trying to promote Smart Water, but so far so good with that. I don't know. Now, here's the thing for me. Starting it is the hardest part because it's like, you're going to be not eating for 3 days. For me, 72 hours. Not going to be eating for 3 days. I'm just going to be drinking water for 3 days. And they can be, once you get going, it's nothing, but it's the whole, I got to start this fast thing. I know I'll feel better. I'll know it's going to help my insulin sensitivity. I know it's going to do some really great things internally with my body. I know that. But it's the jump off. It's kind of like getting into a pool. It's going to suck. It's going to be cold. Now, once you get in there and you get acclimated to the temperature, then everything's beautiful. It's just that jump. Now, once I start my fast, no issues. I don't have any crazy hunger pains. I'm very blessed in that sense. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of nice for me because I would rather do that, in all honesty, just go cold turkey on the food and just drink the water. I would rather do that than intermittent fasting any day. Although I do have done plenty of intermittent fasting. There's no doubt about it. Just because in some ways for me, it's a little easier than just going ahead and biting the bullet. Now, like I said, I get a handful of hours before my 72 hours is up right now as I make this video. I'm not hungry. I'm not tired, because your body will, once you run out of the sugar stores, your body will start utilizing the fat. That's what it does. Now, like I said, this is not about losing weight to me, but it will start using fat for energy, and that is a wholly different vibe. It's a much cooler vibe. You feel kind of clear-headed. Your thoughts aren't jumbled. You don't have that brain fog that carbohydrates bring to your day. Listen, if you eat a lot of carbs, and God knows I've ate plenty of carbs in my life, it will have a brain fog effect. It just will. If you're fasting, or if you're doing like a ketogenic diet, or if you're doing like an Atkins or whatever protein heavy diet, you'll know what I'm talking about, because it does clear your head. It keeps you. It gives you a focus that you may not have had previously, because the carbs kind of just clog things up. They try this and you'll figure it out. You'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I will do more on fasting. I thought about, it's funny because I thought about maybe starting day 1. What's going on? Day 2, what's going on? Day 3, what's going on? And I got sidetracked. I didn't get to do that. But I do want to talk more about this. And the foodie channel, to be completely honest, I don't know that it's not the right place. I don't know, but let me know if you think it's not. I'll take it into consideration. I think for a lot of people who are food enthusiasts, I think a lot of people that are like me, food addicts or whatever you want to call us, I think we all can benefit from fasting. My personal feelings. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. Don't take this as medical advice. But I think that if you're somebody that tunes in to watch somebody review a double cheeseburger from Burger King, trust me, there's a good chance that you are just like me and would benefit from fasting. I don't know. If you got any comments or any questions or anything, just hit me up in the comment section. If you don't believe this kind of video belongs on a foodie channel, then, let me know. I'm not sure. I mean, I have 14 YouTube channels, so, I can put it somewhere else, but I just thought it would be interesting to be on this show. Anyway, that's all. Why am I running way too long? Peace!